including any conversations with you or any other person, may be recorded for quality assurance.
Okay, so I was just on the phone with Zell customer support. Okay, because I have um, a customer with Miracule, with my water filtration company that I own, that sent me money this way because I've had so many problems with my merchant accounts. Okay, merchant credit card companies. I've talked to other small business owners. It is July 5th, by the way, and I'm going to talk about some other things today. But uh, so there's person sent me money this way. I've had a ton of issues with credit card processing companies. I've had a lot of fraud happen, and other small businesses have been going through the same thing. A lot of small businesses have stopped even taking credit cards, and they're trying, different things like this, like Zelle. Okay, because the credit card companies are either taking fees. I've saved all my merchant company receipts and things like that, and I look at how much, and it doesn't even make sense. They're like third party fees, third party marketing. I never signed up for third party marketing, and so I got so sick of it, all these extra fees, that I tried multiple different credit card processing companies. Okay, so because I am trying to get back into, selling these filters that I have, because I know that the my customers need replacement filters for their systems, but I'm having a hard time with these credit card companies. And like I said, I've had a lot of fraud. But the latest thing here is that, so then this customer sent me money by Zelle, and it says that I have to enroll in in Zelle, and I can't, and it's not letting me enroll. And then it looks like the money. Okay, so I have like one person on my account that sent me money once before, and it looks like the money went to her. This other person that's like a contact in my Zelle account that sent me money one time, um, or that I was renting from her one time, and it looks like the money went to her. Like she literally, it looks like she literally created my same email, and I know who this woman is. Okay, I believe she's part of the witch covens. I've talked about this before. This is not a joke. These people are very dangerous, especially in Minnesota. This is a woman that I rented from. I did videos from her house in Apple Valley. Okay, this woman was crazy. She was illegally spying on me in the house. She had, this was when I was renting in Apple Valley after I finally left that place in Golden Valley. I had found this place, and it was a bunch of women. Um, but it turns out that all the other girls were like felons. They were like, had just gotten out of halfway houses or something, or like, I'm because I was getting to know them, and and yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, so I guess I'm like the only person that's like not a felon or something, you know. So yeah, it was just a bizarre situation, and this woman is still attached to my Zelle account somehow. And this woman is absolutely crazy. I did a video on this. She actually, I know she's part of the deep state now, by the way she acted. Okay, she said, "Oh, we saw you doing something in the house," and I said, "Excuse me?" Like she made up some kind of bizarre thing, and I said, "Show me the footage. Do you have cameras in this property illegally spying on us?" And then she never contacted me back. Okay, you have to be really careful who you're renting from. I've talked about this before. And some of these people on Craigslist ads and things like that are dangerous. Okay, so I have to, and especially as a whistleblower, I have to be extremely careful. But yeah, but this woman is still attached somehow to my Zelle account because I had paid her. I got out of there after a month. She was just nuts. Okay, she just did all these crazy things, I believe, and then it turns out that she's like is friends with the police. She sent me this one bizarre text message, and I thought she was gonna try to get me arrested for no reason at all. She had some kind of nurse come over to apparently talk to some other woman there that had some heart issues or something like that, and she's like, "Would you like them to come and talk to you?" And I'm like, "About what?" Like she was trying to insinuate, me talking to a nurse about mental health issues or something. It's just like, I've never met this woman before. She was absolutely nuts. She was totally in cahoots with the police, and she was absolutely crazy. And now she's attached to my Zelle account, and I believe that she somehow got the money that was supposed to be sent to me from a customer. Okay, this is how dangerous the witch covens are, and the witch coven women are in cahoots. They're Eastern Star Masons, and they're in cahoots with the men Masons. Okay, and these people are very, very dangerous. She literally like hacked into my. She created the same email in the Zelle, and so the money went to her. And this is what I'm dealing with right now. So I have to call Zelle and try to explain what happened and try to figure out what happened there. Okay, so this is. But yesterday was bizarre. Yeah, we were trying to just go see some music, and we had a sheriff stalking us for no reason. Like, oh, is it illegal, sheriff, to go see some bands? Isn't that what the whole reason why they have the bands the 4th of July? Okay, and yes, and there's multiple things that I always have to talk about. Okay, but there's I was just talking to this other girl today who is also another targeted person, and we were talking, well, Minnesota just in general, and the Masons and everything, and she personally had a very horrible time when she lived in Anoka, Minnesota, with this one sheriff there. His name is Brad Wise. Okay, she said, like, his history is like he worked as a hotel manager, and then all of a sudden he became chief of police. Okay. Same thing going on. Okay, we don't even, they seem to just like move into these positions, but they don't really have the training for it, or like he literally, she said, overnight became chief of police and then sheriff. He was in the hotel business before. She had a horrible time with him. He did all kinds of false charges on her, and she ended up having to go to jail multiple times, like I had to in Minnesota. Okay. There's also, we also have a lot of concerns about this one company in Minnesota called it's a fleet, something fleet. Okay, and I'll get the name of it here. But basically, they fix the vehicles for the police. Okay, but we believe that they can also, they're also selling. It's called something fleet. Let's see. It's in Big Lake. And Big Lake area, and basically they fix the cars for the police. Okay, that's where a lot of the vehicles go, that if the police have their cars damaged. Okay, and it's in Minnesota, and but we believe that they can also just rig your car, like they also sell stuff to put on your car to make it look like a cop car when you really aren't a cop. And that's concerning to us. We were talking about that today. Okay, and let's see, what was it called? Bargain Fleet or something Fleet. Okay, well, anyway, I'll look it up. But anyway, that's but so she said, "Do you really think that Melissa Hortman was killed?" And and that's a real story. And I said, yes, absolutely, absolutely, because I personally had these same unmarked sheriffs stalking me in Minnesota, and I've showed videos of it. Okay, there's this black unmarked sheriff. There's a black unmarked sheriff. Has no business having an unmarked sheriff around here. Okay, they started showing up in Minnesota. Black unmarked sheriffs. I had them following me multiple times. And I said, yeah, absolutely. I believe she was approached by some kind of, it was a black unmarked sheriff. And yeah, and I believe it was somebody right from the state that somehow got a hold of this vehicle. And but you know, okay, and so now I'm going to play this conversation that I had. If you have not seen this video, I'm going to play it again. It was this conversation with somebody from the state of Minnesota about what is the reason why all these unmarked cops started coming around. Because, you know, when you get pulled over by an unmarked cop and it doesn't say what county they're from, it doesn't say anything. And it's illegal because it doesn't have like any decal of any kind. So I had this conversation. You can listen to this. Any of them in the state are. Okay, so and your name is what? Okay, so this is unmarked. This is my video that I did 11 months ago. So shortly after the situation with Melissa Hortman in Minnesota. Okay, unmarked cops are statuted by the state of Minnesota. Unmarked cop. This was right after this happened with Melissa Hortman. I had this conversation with the state of Minnesota about these unmarked cops. Troy? Yeah. Okay, I just called him Mike Lee. And your name is what? Troy?
Christensen, yeah.
Okay, I just called him Mike Lee.
Yeah, and he forwarded the message to me to take care of it. He's my boss.
Okay, because I never in my life have seen these unmarked vehicles before,
Okay.
and until last year, and neither has anybody else. Even though you say you've seen them, they're never, never in my life, and I've lived here most of my life. So.
Okay, can you send me an email and I'll send you the state statute?
Well, you already said this. You already gave me the state statute. I don't care so much about the statute. I just, I don't understand how they started showing up to begin with. Okay, so you say that BCA, which stands for what? Bureau of Criminal
Apprehension.
Is involved in. Okay, so Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, that's what I've talked about. They're a fusion center. They're a illegal surveillance center. And they're involved in this. They're the ones handling the Melissa Hortman investigation. Okay, really? Okay, we know now this is a surveillance center. We believe. I mean, I have that one video of where I went over there and I said, what is this place? And the police and the firemen were stalking me, literally driving around the building. Why would you care that if I'm there? Okay, I already did a video on that, exposing that place. Okay, that's in St. Paul, and this is the one in charge of sensitive type investigations. Really? Nobody even knows what this place does. Okay, that he told me that the state of Minnesota, the statute is that 11% of all vehicles from the state are unmarked now. So basically, I caught him here. The investigation of the shooting that killed 4 people here, involving your unmarked cops. Your unmarked vehicles.
Yeah, that wasn't our unmarked vehicle.
Oh, well, whose was it? He told me that he just told me, so I catch him in this right now. Okay, he had just told me the statute of the state of Minnesota was that 11% of all state vehicles are now unmarked vehicles. So I basically said, are you saying that the vehicle that killed Melissa Hortman and all those 4 people, it was this Lance guy that pulled up at her house in an unmarked sheriff vehicle at 11 o'clock at night. She, of course, and he's dressed in a uniform that looks real. Okay. Oh yeah, I think the name is Bargain Fleet, the one that fixes the vehicles in Big Lake area. I believe that's the name of it. They fix the cop vehicles and they sell stuff that can make your car look like a cop. Okay. Okay, so he basically just told me that 11% of all state vehicles are now unmarked. Okay, it's freaking everybody out because it doesn't show what county they're from, anything. They're completely unmarked. You have no idea who these people are, especially after this situation happened in with Melissa Hortman. This guy shows up at 11 o'clock at night. Of course, she thinks it's a real cop. It's not. And he was in a completely unmarked vehicles, completely decked out, looking like a cop. I mean, this guy just told me that all the unmarked vehicles come from the state. Okay, does that not implicate the state of Minnesota in her death? Yes, it does. Well, where else? And he goes, oh no, it was the shooters. Well, didn't you just tell me that all those vehicles come from the state of Minnesota? It was an unmarked state vehicle. Okay, so this basically just implicates, this video right here just implicates the state of Minnesota in her death. Okay, and we know that Tim Walz, this Lance Holder guy or whatever his name was, that was involved, his wife worked for Walz. Okay, so there's connections here, see? Okay, so we're going to play the rest of this.
But where did he get the vehicle?
I'm not sure.
Well, that's what we're trying. We kind of need to know that information.
Isn't that kind of important information?
Don't you think the state deserves that information? Because we're seeing these unmarked cops around here, and we want to know.
Oh yeah, it's really easy just to get an unmarked vehicle to look exactly like a state vehicle. Is that something you can buy online now, or do you go to Bargain Fleet to just get this rigged up, like pimped up? Is that what happened, or I don't know. Like, really? And you expect me to believe this shit? I mean, it's ridiculous.
Where the shooter got that vehicle? Isn't that a valid question to ask? Because I've had these guys follow me around. Okay, and how am I supposed to know, since this guy we know now wasn't even a real cop, and he shot 4 people now, and they're dead now? Don't you think we have a right to know where he got the vehicle, one? Second of all, don't you think we have a right to know if these are even real police officers? How do we find out? What if these, all the unmarked cops are not real police officers? How do we find this information out?
Like I said before, like at night when you get pulled over, you can't see the side of the vehicle at all. You just see the lights.
Well, it's kind of freaking everybody out, don't you think? Don't you think it's kind of freaking everybody out? Because now we don't know if these are real cops. How do we find out if they're real cops? Well, I'm talking to the whole state, all the politicians, that were friends of these people that got shot to death. What do you think? Who do you think I'm talking about? We're talking about the whole state is seeing these unmarked cops, Troy.
You're the only one that's brought this issue up.
I don't care if I'm the only one.
I'm the only one.
Like he's like what? I've had him stop.
Are you insinuating that I'm crazy because I'm the only one that's brought it up? Well, I'm the only one that happened to call you, and I actually videotape it. But believe me, there's a lot of other state representatives, especially the ones that are trying to, that in the past that have tried to, be whistleblowers against the fraud. They're all very afraid that the same thing might happen to them. Just because I'm the only one that brought it up doesn't mean it's not a concern. He's trying to demean it, like belittle it.
I expect answers.
Who's stalking you?
I've had these unmarked vehicles stalking me.
Call 911. Report it.
How do I know if they are real cops or if they are fake cops, Troy?
Call 911. If you get stopped, call 911 and they'll verify it for you.
How do we know if any of them in the state are real cops that are driving the unmarked vehicles?
Yeah.
Because the guy that shot 4 people was not.
Good answer.
Correct.
Yes. Can I get a number to the BCA people?
It's kind of a concern, isn't it, Troy?
Just look it up. Just Google BCA. I don't have
Bureau of Criminal Investigation?
Bureau of Criminal Apprehension.
Okay. Oh yeah, that one office in St. Paul that has no markings on it, and nobody even knows what they do over there. I've already been over there. I know that's like a shady place. Nobody even knows what that place does.
Well, then you have to go there, and they'll answer your questions because they're the lead.
Oh, I did go there.
Oh, the one with
I did go there.
Like
I did go there, and that's when the police were and the firefighters were like circling the building. That place. Oh yeah, that's real legitimate.
You can't even go in there, and nobody even has a clue what this office does, and I don't even know when it even started existing in the state of Minnesota. When did Bureau of Criminal Investigation start even becoming an office?
Bureau of Criminal Apprehension.
Yeah, I've never heard of that in my life, and I've lived here.
Google it.
When did that start?
Google it. Start researching it.
That just like popped up out of nowhere, and we're supposed to know what it is. I went over there, it personally and videotaped it, and I said, "What exactly do you do?" And you know what they told me? They said, "We just fingerprint and we do background checks." They didn't say anything about investigations. I got it all in video, Troy. They do fingerprints and background checks. I went over there already. I don't have to go over there again. And I said, "What exactly do you do here?" Because nobody really knows what this office does. "Oh, we just do fingerprints and background checks." So when are they doing investigations now, Troy?
Well, they always have.
Really? Who are these officers? Who do they work for?
The BCA,
Well, who is the BCA?
Bureau of Criminal Apprehension.
And so how are we supposed to know this is like even a real agency? I've never heard of this agency.
Okay, we're not getting anywhere here, so
Yeah, we aren't. And so basically nobody's investigating this crime
So what
and
you do
this
is-
murder. And you have a fake office that says they only do fingerprinting and background checks that is supposedly doing a major investigation. And you expect me to believe this shit?
Okay, I need
Really?
to research this. Yeah.
Yeah, you research it.
Okay, that was a conversation with the state office that provides the money for the unmarked cops. Okay, does that, I mean, I couldn't get anywhere with them. This stuff is very concerning. But yeah, it's very concerning to people who've been harassed by the sheriffs, like I have, and like this one woman here that that I've talked to before that has reached out to me from my channel. Yeah, she said there's a lot of unmarked vehicles. Oh, it's called Guardian Fleet. She said Guardian Fleet. It's in that Big Lake area, and it's the place that fixes the police vehicles. But they can also she also saw on their website that you can actually like buy stuff to like make your car look like an unmarked cop, and that's very concerning. So that's another red flag there in Minnesota. Okay. And are they? Yeah, I mean, and then there's rumors that that they're trying to arrest certain groups of people, like we're all like certain people they're considering political dissidents or whatever. I'm a federal whistleblower, so if you could put me in that category, and then there's you can put like every other whistleblower that's ever tried to speak out about any agency as political dissident. I mean, this is just very concerning, the police and how corrupt they are all over. Okay. And it's very concerning to Minnesotans about all the money that's missing still and all the fraud. And I have a video when I was when I was in Minnesota, and it was when they said supposedly Homeland Security is arresting the Somalis, and I went to the whole Somali community and I did the video, and I didn't see a single store shut or a single person arrested. I mean, that it's a whole community there where they live. It's right off of Lake Street. Okay, and they were all the stores are still there, all the communities, nobody, and it was supposedly all these people are involved in fraud. And then I had a Hennepin County sheriff following me as I was just videotaping down Lake Street. Okay. Now I personally believe that he was there stalking me, and if he was concerned about the fraud, he should have been involved in trying to arrest the Somalis instead of stalking me trying to do a video. Don't you think? So, I mean, I personally think that the police are involved in protecting the Somalis. I believe they've been involved in the fraud, and I don't believe that the Somalis were alone in all the fraud. I believe it's a whole statewide thing. I believe that there was an organized situation throughout the whole state. I mean, I believe that the police were involved in protecting it, and they're probably getting a cut. My friend here thinks they're probably getting a cut of it all, the police and the sheriffs. Okay, she believes the same thing. Okay, because they certainly aren't helping arrest them. Nobody's arresting them as far as I know. A lot of I heard that their visas are finally being cut off and things like that, but they're still there. Like nobody's actually removing them and arresting them. Okay, that's a concern. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're smart enough, or it's not like I'm trying to put them down, but I don't think they're organized enough to have done this whole massive fraud thing themselves. So that means that other people were involved in organizing the whole thing, and I believe it's the witch covens, the CIA, these the sheriffs. I believe that they're all involved. I'm not saying that I have evidence of this, but I'm just saying that I believe they are involved. And there's other people that believe this too. They could be getting a cut of the whole thing to protect them. Okay, so yeah, this is all very concerning, and I think the people in Minnesota need to really be very concerned about all of this. And especially if these unmarked cops, if you can like buy stuff from Bargain Fleet, I mean, that name of that place, and actually make your vehicle look like a cop when you're not a cop, that's concerning. All of this is very concerning. And the fact that this guy, Troy, admitted to me that all the state vehicles, 11% of them are unmarked and they're from the state. To me, that completely implicates that the state provided that vehicle to this guy who shot 4 people. Okay, yeah, I think there's a lot of concern here about Minnesota.